Trump has warned the people they better leave this place, for they never meant to leave their home till death was in their face. The seas began to rolling, the ships they could not land. I heard a captain crying, God be safe, drown and land. A mighty day, a mighty day, a mighty day, a mighty day, great God, the morning when the Solomons left the town. The trains, they all were loaded with people leaving town. The traps gave way to the ocean, Lord, and the trains, they went on down. The waters like some river came rushing to and fro. I saw my father drown in God and watched my mother go. Wasn't that a mighty day? A mighty day, a mighty day, great God, the morning when the Solomons left the town. Now let your hands rise, see, you got them on one knee. You took away my mother, now you're coming after me. Wasn't that a mighty day, 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 great God, the morning when the Solomons left the town. A mighty day, 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 great God, the morning when the Solomons left the town.
Well, thank you. It has been a long time for some of us. I don't know how many. How many of you were at Lisner, by the way? Oh, well, then all of the rest of you are new, right? Well, for those of you that have not seen us recently, a lot of water has passed under the bridge since we sang some 21 years ago. I imagine it has for you, too, huh? We've done a lot of things. I'm sure you have. If you really want to know all about the gory details of our lives, I would just like you to see the movie instead, rather than having me tell you all about it. I can tell you a couple of sentences. First of all, as far as Mike Koblich is concerned, he, for several years, returned to our homeland, Spokane, Washington, and he has now got a whole department of the city to run all by himself. It's called the Entertainment Facilities of Spokane, Washington, and it includes the Opera House and the Coliseum and the Stadium and the Convention Center. Mike Koblich. And for those of you who don't have the slightest idea of who we are, my name is the one that got fostered for the name of the trio, simply because the first two members were Mike Koblich and Mike Pugh, and we couldn't figure naming the group after any of those names, so I was the most sonorous of the three, you see. So I am Chad Mitchell, and what I did after the trio was over with, I pursued a couple of agrarian ventures, the last of which was a wine and grape venture in Oregon, and I sort of got tired of watching all of the money go into the field and none coming out. So for the last couple of years, I have been putting my 2 years in before the mast with the Delta Queen Steamboat Company, and I am now the Director of Entertainment for the Delta Queen Steamboat Company down in New Orleans. Now, to my left, we have our life voyager. After the trio had disbanded, Joe became a hippie. It was a little late, but he still did that. Then he entered a related field, divinity school, and he went to Yale Divinity School, and after several years, he graduated and became a full-fledged Episcopal priest. Now, you may notice that he is a little incapacitated tonight. I wouldn't want you to worry unduly. As is a priest's wont, he was trying to get ever closer to his Maker. He was climbing Mount Tamalpais there in Marin County, and he slipped. He almost met his Maker, I might say. But fortunately for us and for you, he is a survivor, and he only has a broken heel, they say. What can I say other than if any of you find yourselves in Menlo Park, California, in need of a confessional, drop into St. Bede's Church and see Reverend Joseph Frazier. So you see, none of us really ever left show business.
You know, Chad, I'm awful glad that you mentioned the Spokane Opera House because It's an award-winning building in an award-winning city. Spokane is such a beautiful place to live and to come from. My heart goes out to Spokane, Washington.
Yes, I mean, but really, everybody in the United States would really like to live in San Francisco. I mean, there's nothing... Right. I mean, there's nothing like Northern California as far as I'm concerned. We have every single kind of lifestyle you can imagine. We have the best weather. We have absolutely everything.
You know, Joe, the state of Washington now is really a spectacularly beautiful state, you know. Rand and McNally, you know, the road people, well, they recently did a survey and determined that the state of Washington is the #1 state to live in the entire country. In fact, Seattle, Washington was truly voted #1.
Seattle? I'd live there if I were a duck or something. I mean, no, really. And of course, the best thing about living around where I live, at least, are the fantastic vineyards in Northern California. The wines. It's really just going to wine tour in Northern California is really.
Spokane has a burgeoning wine industry, and in fact, the Spokane wines now are winning prizes internationally, Joe.
How many people out here have had Washington State wines? I mean, really, it's impossible. No. California wines actually are exceeding the European vintages.
You know,
California wines are.
Gosh, you know, the last competition where Spokane wines were featured, and in fact one, was held in Northern California.
Sour grapes.
Well, I've got to say, guys, that I don't know if I forgot to mention it or not, but you see, Louisiana has the largest unemployment rate in the United States today.
I was born about 10,000 years ago. There ain't nothing in this world that I don't know. I saw Peter, Paul, and Moses playing the ring around the roses, and I'll whoop the guy that says it isn't so.
Well, I'm just a lonesome traveler, a great historical bum. Highly educated, through history I have come. I built the Rock of Ages, it was in the year '01, and that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
I taught Adam and Eve, driven from the shore. I'm the guy that picked the fig leaves that they wore, and from behind the bushes peeping, saw the apple they was eating, and I swear that I'm the one that ate the core.
Well, I built the Garden of Eden, it was in the year '02. Joined the Apple Pickers Union, and I always pay my due. I'm the man what signed the contract to raise the rising sun, and that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
I taught Samson how to use his mighty hands. I showed Columbus to that one time. And for Pharaoh's little kiddies, I built all the pyramids, and to the Sahara carried all the sand.
I was straw boss on the pyramids and the Tower of Babel too. I opened up the ocean, let the mighty children through. I fought 1,000,000 battles and I never lost a one. And that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
I taught Solomon his little ABC. I was the first one to eat the burger cheese. And while floating down the bay with Methuselah one day, I saw his whiskers floating in the breeze.
Now I fought the revolution that set this country free.
It was me and a couple of Indians that jumped the lessons.
I won the Battle of Valley Forge.
I lovingly run,
And that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
She fell in love with me. We were married in Milwaukee secretly. But I got tired and shook her and went off a gentle hook, shooting speeders down in Tennessee. I was born about 1,000 years ago. There ain't nothing in this world that I don't know. I saw Peter, Paul, and Moses playing around the roses. Now what's the guy that says it isn't so? How I was once a traveling in a great historical bum. There ain't nothing in this world that I don't know. I saw Peter, Paul, and Moses playing around one. And what's the guy that says it isn't so? Well, I'm just a lonesome traveler, a great historical bum. Highly educated, I did a lot of ages, it was in the year '01, and that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
All right.
Mike, you know what they call a cleric who slips off a cliff?
What's that?
No. Fallen priest.
It's true.
It's a long and dusty road
it's a hard and heavy load. And the folks I meet ain't always kind. Some are bad, some are good, some have done the best they could. Some have tried to ease my troubling mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I have been around this land just doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the faces that I see are as worried as can be, and looks like they are wondering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I had a buddy way back home, but he started out wrong. And I hear he's out by Frisco Bay. And sometimes when I'm at a view, his voice comes singing through. And I'm going out to see him some old day. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. If you see me passing by and you sit and wonder why, and you wish that you were a rattler too, nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, lace them up and bar the door, and thank the stars for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
You know, for those of you that might be too young to remember, oh, there are some, I can see it. And for those of you who don't want to remember, there was a time in the early 60s that pop music was known as the folk era. Those who played the music of the folk era were known colloquially as folkies. Now, among the great folkies, there were two rather large areas. One was called the purest folkies, and the other was called the impurest folkies. From the point of view of the purest folkies, our group was highly impure. Because you see, I'm not actually sure why. I think it's because we didn't play instruments. We sometimes were known to wear coats and ties. And we were accused of not singing songs of antiquity. Well, as a matter of fact, we did sing some songs of antiquity, but more often we sang songs of political and social satire that had much more to do with our lives and the lives of those we sang to and the moods of the country. Well, tonight we have the unique opportunity of vindicating ourselves in the eyes of the purists. Because you see, anything we sing tonight about then is a song of antiquity.
Can't lose, can't lose.
Well, we're meeting at the courthouse at 8 o'clock tonight. You just come in the door and take the first turn to the right. Be careful when you get there, we hate to be bereft, but we're taking down the names of everybody turning left. We're the John Burt Society, the John Burt Society, here to save our country from a communistic plot. Join the John Burt Society, help us build the ranks. To get this movement started, we need lots of tools and grants. Now there's no one that we're certain the Kremlin doesn't touch. We think that William Buckley, the progressive influence, scouting, won't that be a victory? Oh, we're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society. Reverend Billy Graham may think he's getting us along, but the John Birch Society knows he's spilled the beans. He keeps on preaching brotherhood, but we know what he means. Now we'll teach you how to spot him in the cities or the sticks, or even Fairfax County is just full of Bolsheviks. The CIA subversive, and so's the NSC. There's no one left but thee and we, and we're not sure of thee. We're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society, here to save our country from a communistic plot. The John Birch Society, holding off the Reds. We'll use our hands and hearts, and if we must, we'll use our heads. Do you want Justice Rehnquist to be your commissar? Do you want Mrs. Gorbachev in there with the DAR? You cannot trust your neighbors or even next of kin. If mommy is a commie, then you gotta turn her in. Oh, we're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society, fighting for the right to fight the right, fight for the right. We're the John Birch Society, as we're marching on. We'll all be glad to see you when we're meeting in the John, in the John, in the John Birch Society.
I want you to know I have a blue one in the dressing room.
2 and 2 are 4, 4 and 4 are 8. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. What did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? I learned that Washington never told a lie. I learned that soldiers seldom die. I learned that everybody's free. That's what the teacher said to me, and that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. Now, what did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? I learned that policemen are my friends. I learned that justice never ends. I learned that murderers die for the crime, even if we make a mistake sometimes. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. What did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? I learned that wars are not so bad. I learned of the great ones we have had. We fought in Germany and in France. Someday I might get my chance. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. Well, what did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boys of mine? I learned our government must be strong, it's always right and never wrong. Our leaders are the finest men, and so we elect them again and again and again and again. And that's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. That's what I learned in school today. That's what I learned in school. That's what I learned in school. That's what I learned in school.
One more thank you to Tommy Paxton. Absolutely. You know, someone that I love very much once said, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And one of the greatest satisfactions that we had as a group in the 60s was not only to take part in the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement, but to get out into the colleges and the communities and to do our best to be peacemakers, to talk about the issues of war and peace in our own times. I've been rather depressed in the last week or so watching television because it seems that we're still making heroes out of warriors. I would hope that we get to a place eventually where we'd realize that war is not only not a viable alternative, it's not an alternative at all. And certainly the writer of this next song knew that very well.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all be there when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all be there when Johnny comes marching home. With drums and guns and drums and drums, hooroo, hooroo. With drums and guns and guns and drums, hooroo, hooroo. With drums and guns and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Darling John, it's been so long. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. 'Tis glad I am to see you home, hooroo, hooroo. 'Tis glad I am to see you home, hooroo, hooroo. 'Tis glad I am to see you home, my darling John. So pale and wan, so low in cheek and high in bone. Oh, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all be there when Johnny comes marching, Johnny comes marching home. Where are your eyes that were so mild, hooroo, hooroo? Oh, where are your eyes that were so mild, hooroo, hooroo? Oh, where are your eyes that were so mild when my poor heart first beguiled? Oh, why did you run from me and the child? Ah, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome and hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all be there when Johnny comes marching, Johnny comes marching. Where are your legs that used to run, hooroo, hooroo? Oh, where are your legs that used to run, hooroo, hooroo? Oh, where are your legs that used to run when first you went to carry a gun? Indeed, your dancing days are done. Ah, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hooroo, 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 hooroo. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hooroo, hooroo, hooroo. Why, you haven't an arm and you haven't a leg. You're an eyeless, boneless, chickenless egg. And you have to put with a bowl to beg. Ah, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all be there when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all be gay when Johnny comes marching, Johnny comes marching. On the 23rd day of the month of June in the year of
it. Got it.
Thank you. I would like to take just a moment to introduce our orchestra this evening. First of all, I should tell you that these two gentlemen traveled with us extensively through the 1960s, put on many hundreds of thousands of miles with us as we crisscrossed the country. First, a man who plays anything with a string on it, literally, from New Jersey, now working in New York for the record plant, Mr. Paul Prestopino. And secondly, a man who's traveled as much of this country and actually lived in more cities and states in this country than we even hit when we were traveling. A man who lived in Hawaii and Alaska and California and now is moving to New Mexico. A man who, when I asked, well, what have you been doing for the past 21 years, he replied, I've been getting ready for this concert. Mr. David Ander, please.
Right. Oh, thank you, Mike. Well done, well done.
For strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that don't change come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. Think I'll go out to Alberta. Weather's good there in the fall. Got some friends that I can go to working for. Yet I wish you'd change your mind if I asked you one more time. But we've been through that 100 times or more. For strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that don't change come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. If I get there for the snowflight, and if things are going good, you could meet me if I sent you down the fair. But by then it would be winter, not too much for you to do, and the wind sure blows cold way out there. For strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that won't change come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
Yep, that's it. There we are. Here we go.
We're the bright young men who want to go back to 1910. We're Ronnie's boy. We're the kids with a cause, yes, the government like grandma's. We're Ronnie's boy. We're the new kind of youth at your alma mater, back to insecure, just knowing which we're which. We're the kids who agreed to be social without security. We're Ronnie's boys. He threw his hat in the ring where Richard Nixon once was king. Now he's left wing. So if you don't want to trade with any old red China or Canada or Britain or South Carolina, you too can join the crew. Tippecanoe and Nancy too. Back with Ronnie, he'll make you lots of money. Back with Ronnie's boys. Why does a chicken cross the road?
To get from the left to the right. Roses are red, violets are blue. Oliver North's our hero too.
Alakanika, let's emasculate the ERA.
Ronnie, what do you say?
Foreign policy is passe.
Sure.
Mother, wear a grin. Bread and paper ain't no sin. Hold the presses, stop the mail.
The Pentagon's having a 1-cent sale.
What's the latest news statistic? Christianity's socialistic.
Well, you ought to know, Joe.
Shut the door and
Give a
give a
whistle.
whistle. Here comes Ronnie with a brand new missile.
Back with Ronnie's boys. We're the kids full of nerve. As long as it's conservative, we're Ronnie's boys.
And we can't comprehend why the liberals aren't friendlier to Ronnie's boys.
Why once they crusaded for Sacco Vanzetti, now all we're doing is doing the same for John Paul Getty.
The folks who brought you Jimmy Watt will help you see that a river's just a river and a tree's a tree.
I think that I shall never see conservatives who love a tree. No college days with Socrates or Plato when you're Ronnie's boys.
Just organize campaigns to overthrow Nicaragua and the rest.
The entire West. So let's go back to the days when men were men and start the Vietnam War all over again.
That's right, you tell him, son.
Imperialism can be fun. Back with Ronnie, he'll make you lots of money. Back with Ronnie.
And remember, I'm an American first and a politician second.
Spoken like a true American politician.
Back with Ronnie, this really isn't funny. Back with Ronnie's boys. So, let's take them out.
I guess. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it.
That wasn't our hit.
Wrong group. Wrong group.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Don't Taya, Frito, Luca, Salataya, Frito, Salataya, Nebo, Salataya, was the name of the Salataya, got the most, Rita, Dio, Gaya, Roma, Mama, Dosaya, Salas, Catera, Devi, Vaya, Sama, Santa, Little Bobby, Vaya, Sama, was the name of the Salataya, got the most, Rita, Dio, Gaya, Roma, Mama, Dosaya, Dekra, Dem, Sende, Ochan, Yem, Nuche, was the name of the Salataya, got the most, Rita, Dio, Gaya, Roma, Mama, Dosaya, la 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 la. Yay! Spasibo, spasibo. Elizabeth Borden took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks. And when the job was nicely done, she gave her mother 41. Yeah. Yesterday in Old Fall River, Mr. Andrew Borden died, and they got his daughter Lizzie on in charge of homicide. Some folks say she didn't do it, others say of course she did. They all agree Miss Lizzie B was problem kind of kid. But you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts, not even if it's planned as a surprise. A surprise! No, you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. You know how neighbors love to criticize. Well, she got him on the sofa where he'd gone to take a snooze, and I hope he went to heaven cause he wasn't wearing shoes. Then she kinda rearranged him with a hatchet, so they say. Then she got her mother in that same old-fashioned way. But you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts, not even if you're tired of her cuisine. Her cuisine, no, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts. You know it's almost sure to cause a scene. Oh, they really kept her hopping on that busy afternoon, with both down and upstairs chopping while she hummed the ragtime tune. They really made her hustle when all was said and done. She removed her mother's muscle when she wasn't wearing one. No, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts and then blame all the damage on the mice. No, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts. That kind of thing just isn't very nice.
Now it wasn't done for pleasure, and it wasn't done for spite, and it wasn't done because the lady wasn't very bright. She'd always done the slightest thing that Mom and Papa did. They said,
Lizzie, cut it out.
so that's exactly what she did.
But you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts and then get dressed and go out for a walk. No, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a far cry from New York. No, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts.
Shut the door and lock and latch it. Here comes Lizzie with a brand new hatchet.
You can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. Such a snob, I've heard it said. She met her paw and cut him dead. You can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. Jump like a fish and jump like a porpoise. All join hands and habeas corpus. You can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a far cry from New York.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I know the guy that wrote that one. There's only one. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm glad you're here.
You know, we've done a couple of Tom Paxton's tunes tonight in our segment. We would like to do one more, but we'd like to call Tom out.
But that's not the right position, is it? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you did it.
As Tom mentioned, back in 1960, he spent all of a week with us. We never got to sing in front of anybody, but tonight's the first. We'll try this one.
Great. Over here?
Okay. And then the chorus.